Alright, welcome to the Virtue Bowling Supply YouTube channel, your go-to place for non-staff, non-biased, multi-style reviews. My name is Chris, and I'm here to bring the high-rev perspective.
And my name is Josh, and I will be bringing the low-rev perspective.
Today we're going to be throwing 10 shots with the brand new GB5 Pearl and Storm IQ Tour A.I, picking one winner that we would most likely add to our bag and explain why.
Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you out on the lanes.
Alright, after seeing the GB5 Pearl and the IQ Tour A.I go down the lane, the first few shots I definitely saw how much cleaner the GB5 Pearl is. It really wanted to float through the front part of the lane a little bit more than the IQ Tour A.I. But even with the IQ Tour A.I having just a little bit stronger cover, it was actually fairly similar to the GB5 Pearl going down the lane, but I really saw the difference in the middle part of the lane where the IQ Tour A.I really wanted to kind of slow down and go a little bit more forward than the GB5 Pearl was. I feel like if I was a little too far right with the GB5 Pearl, it just kind of got offline because of how quick it wanted to be. So I had to move a little bit further to the left with the GB5 Pearl just to kind of shape the ball a little bit more. Kind of when I got comfortable with both of them and kind of the zones that they like to play, I was definitely a little bit further right with the IQ Tour A.I. I felt like I could be a little bit more aggressive with my hand, and it really wanted to slow down where I wanted to see it. I feel like the GB5 Pearl kind of got down lane a little too far to where I liked it, and if I got it a little steep, it like kind of hockey sticked off the end of the pattern. Quite a few of those shots went through the head pin, but I feel like when I got too far left with the GB5 Pearl and got it in the oil, you could tell it wanted to try to see it. So I got those kind of light swisher hits, but I really like to see the ball go through the pins, and I feel like the IQ Tour A.I did that a little bit better than the GB5 Pearl did. All right, final thoughts on these two balls. I feel like the IQ Tour A.I kind of allowed me to play my A game a little bit and just be a little bit more firm than the GB5 Pearl. I feel like being able to play just a little bit straighter and have a little bit more confidence that it's going to see the middle part of the lane the right way and go a little bit more forward through the pins is something that I like to see, and the GB5 Pearl was not really something that I like to see, especially for right now. I feel like they got a little cliffed, so it kind of just had that over-under type ball reaction. Is where the IQ Tour A.I really wanted to see the spot in the right way. So for the winner of this one, I'm going to have to choose the IQ Tour A.I. It's just the ball motion that I like to see a little bit more than the GB5 Pearl.
Finished throwing 10 shots with each of the Ebonite GB5 Pearl and the Storm IQ Tour A.I. These pieces for me were fairly similar. I did feel, however, that the IQ Tour A.I was a little bit more forward of a shape, wasn't so much like as angular as the GB5. I feel like the GB5 also continued more. I feel like the IQ Tour needed to see friction, but it was kind of hard to control it off the friction. Very clean through the fronts, and is a ball that I'm really starting to like, but it's definitely different for me, where I have to still manage to keep it in oil, so that way it doesn't immediately go sideways if I get it to the friction too early. I feel like with the GB5, even though it was cleaner, I was able to actually miss right and have it kind of stay there for a little bit, just because it was able to get through that spot. But it's still hooked even in oil. It still retained energy getting off the cliff of the pattern. As I I moved further left, my ball motion was kind of deteriorating just in general, but with each of these, they kind of highlighted that cliff a little bit more, so it's a little harder to make shots and make the ball look good. But like I said, you could still see the same thing where that GB5 was just a little cleaner, and that's the better ball I had, where the IQ was a little too early, where it either saw friction and hooked or never saw the friction and never hooked. So the winner for these two rocks for me today is going to have to be that Ebonite GB5 Pearl. I felt like it just blended the lane a little bit better than the Tour A.I. And just fit my eye for what we're bowling on right now. I also see it being probably a little bit more versatile than the IQ, just on multitudes of patterns, where it, if there's a little bit of volume, it'll still shape, where if there's no volume, you can just throw it, for me, I would just throw it harder or move left, find a little bit more oil. But I think it's going to be overall just more of a useful piece than the Tour A.I.
All right, thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this video useful, make sure you like it, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.